I had no idea what I was walking into.
I was so excited. Mom, look at what I did today.
You get an education, you earn benefits at the same time, and a paycheck.
You're earning while you're learning.
You get a free education.
No college debt.
The money's awesome.
It pays well.
There's such potential in this field.
It's worked out great. I've been doing this for 28 years, and I've enjoyed pretty much every minute of it.
Welcome. Thanks for being here with us tonight for the Women in Trades learning session. This evening is an opportunity for us to learn together, to hear from women working in the trades, and to learn about our city's community benefits agreement and the dedication to the advancement of women and minorities in our community's workforce. Thanks for joining us. I'm Shannon Ginther, First Lady of the City of Columbus and Chair of the Columbus Women's Commission. I believe in the power of women's stories. I believe in passionately seeking answers. I believe in the women of Columbus. When my husband took office 3 years ago, I had the opportunity to put my efforts behind the community, and I knew right away where I wanted to concentrate: in advancing the economic well-being of Columbus's women. In early 2017, the mayor and I launched the Columbus Women's Commission. Two areas of early focus have been gender equity in the workplace and workforce development. Data tells us that in Central Ohio, 1 in 4 women lacks basic economic security. And women in Columbus are 2/3 of the minimum wage earners. Columbus women working full-time make 78 cents for every dollar a man earns, below the national average for pay equity, which is 80 cents on the dollar. And nationally, African American women earn 63 cents to the dollar, and Latina women earn 54 cents to every dollar a man earns. To impact pay inequity, the Columbus Women's Commission launched the Columbus Commitment, Achieving Pay Equity. And to date, over 180 local employers have signed the pledge to close the gender-based wage gap in our city. Our community is responding. Last October, the mayor signed our city's very first community benefits agreement to construct Fire Station 35 on the Far East Side. This agreement offers the city and its residents many benefits. First, it makes sure that people paying for the project have a fair chance to actually work on it. By including local workforce goals, this project can provide good paying careers for people who live right here in our city and county. Second, it enhances cooperation between workers and the city, eliminating risks of delays and disruption to the project because of labor disputes or lockouts, while ensuring fair pay for a day's work. This means that Fire Station 35 will be on time and on budget. Finally, and this is particularly exciting to me and to the Women's Commission, it offers real benefits for our community, like apprenticeships, focused job recruitment, diversity and inclusion planning, and a second chance for displaced workers and people re-entering our community after incarceration. We all know that Columbus is in a time of unprecedented growth and development with record low unemployment rate and a booming housing market. And about 2/3 of our residents are doing very well. But the other third are struggling to make ends meet. We know that to ease that struggle, we need to lift people onto ladders of opportunity, including well-paying jobs as those in the building construction trade. Building construction trade jobs are careers for a lifetime. This community benefit agreement includes provisions that increase apprenticeship opportunities and recruitment plans geared toward minorities, women, and low-income residents. It also recognizes that historically, women and people of color have not been well represented in the trades. To address that issue, each union that signed this community benefits agreement will create and implement diversity and inclusion plans that are specific and measurable. We applaud our local labor unions for standing with us and with the community in this effort. The Community Benefits Agreement also established a Community and Workforce Committee made up of representatives of the Columbus Building Construction Trades Council, the City of Columbus, and organizations dedicated to the advancement of women and minorities and low-income residents, such as the NAACP. We believe that together we can make bold things happen. We believe that diversity is mighty. We believe in the women of Columbus. Thank you on behalf of the Mayor, the Columbus Women's Commission, and the many partners in this room for working together to create opportunities for our community's residents. I would now like to introduce Karen Vroman-Els, Ohio Program Coordinator with Chicago Women in Trades. Karen is a fierce advocate and ambassador for women in the trades, and we are thankful for her leadership in our community.
Good evening. I want to welcome everyone here. I'm very excited to be a part of this, and I want to thank First Lady Ginther, the Columbus Women's Commission, and the Columbus Building and Construction Trades and the City of Columbus for having me here this evening. I am the Ohio Program Coordinator with Chicago Women in Trades, and the mission of our organization is to ensure that all women who want to work with their hands and earn a good living have equal access to and information and training and employment opportunities to break into the construction industry. And I think tonight we're going to be able to achieve those goals. I encourage you to take advantage of all the people that are in this room to help provide information for you and support. So if you are entertaining the possibilities of a career in the construction trades, we can help you. All of us in this room can help you make that happen. So here's how the evening's going to flow a little bit. I will moderate the evening, and I'm going to introduce some of our guests who will come up and provide you with some information. And then we have 4 women who will come up, and I will moderate a panel, and they will talk to you about their experiences as apprentices and journey tradeswomen in the construction trades. Then from there, we'll have some closing remarks, and we'll adjourn, and you'll have a chance to meet all of these wonderful community partners and the building and construction trades that have come to talk to you tonight. So with that said, I would like us to give a warm welcome to Kitty French with ACT Ohio.
Thank you, Karen, and a special thank you to First Lady Ginther and the Columbus Women's Commission, to all of our partners, and to the City of Columbus and the Columbus Building Trades people. Thank you for making this event happen. It's really important, as you heard from First Lady Ginther, that we reach out and we share the good news about the middle class earnings, the benefits, and the careers that women can find in the building and construction trades right here in Columbus. I'm really excited to see so many people came out today because what I want to see is a lot more faces, a lot more ponytails, building our skyscrapers, building our stadiums, building our hospitals. You all inspire me to do the work that I do for the Affiliated Construction Trades of Ohio. We represent 100,000 tradesmen and women across the state. 5% of our apprentices in the state of Ohio are women in building trades programs, and we're not satisfied there. We want to see more of you. And what I'm here to tell you is that if you are interested in a building and a construction trades career, if you want to be an electrician, if you want to be an operating engineer, go out there and get it, because we want you to feel empowered to claim your place in the building and construction trades here in Columbus. Just to back up a little bit, construction trades careers, as you may have learned from talking to the people at our tables here tonight, they begin with apprenticeships. An apprenticeship in construction in the building trades. Oh, here come a group of people. We'll wait. Hi, thank you all for joining us. While we're waiting for our new guests to get seated, can I see a show of hands, people who are here tonight who are interested in construction careers? Any women out there who are really thinking about it? Excellent, excellent. So thank you, ladies, for joining us. Construction careers begin with apprenticeships that average between 4 and 5 years, depending on the construction trade that you're interested in. And what it takes to be accepted into an apprenticeship program and to graduate from a Columbus Building Trades apprenticeship program, 4 things. Number 1, we're looking for academics. We want 18-year-old young women who have a high school diploma, a GED, and the desire to learn your trade. Number 2, aptitude. Any young ladies out there like math and science? Yes, all right. So we're looking for aptitude. You need to be able to master math and science and apply that as you become an electrician or a pipe fitter or a sheet metal worker or a laborer. Number 3, okay, I'm kind of bad at math tonight. Number 3, we need you to be on time. We need you to be present. We need you to show up for all your classes, and that's hard for me. Getting up at 5 in the morning sometimes really wears me out. You gotta show up, you gotta be there for your classes and your work, and it's hard, but it's rewarding. Number 4, and finally, the most important thing you have to bring to your apprenticeship in the building trades is attitude. The building trades apprenticeships are difficult. And you'll hear from some of the women tonight the specific challenges that they face as construction women. But with strength, determination, and a positive attitude, just tap into that drive you've got. Each of you can be a successful young tradeswomen. So that's what you put into apprenticeships. Let's get to the real deal and talk about what you get out of it. As you heard from First Lady Ginther, we have a problem in this city, in this state, and across this country where women, and particularly women of color, do not make dollar for dollar what men in this country make. And we're all invested in changing that. In the Columbus building trades, in Ohio's building trades, we have pay equity. That means that if I go to work on a job site, I know that I'm making the same dollar for dollar as the man to my left, the man to my right. It doesn't matter what we bring to it. It doesn't matter where we come from. It matters what we put into it, and we earn that dollar just as much as anybody. Sorry, a little shaky, bad speech. Let's see. Instead of paying for your education, another benefit of building trades apprenticeships is that all of our tradespeople, all the women you see here tonight, they invest some of their earnings to train the next generation of tradeswomen like you. So our programs are tuition free. The average apprentice makes a starting wage $16 an hour in the Midwest. That's pretty good. And when you graduate your program after 4 years, you're going to be looking at average wages of $40 an hour. This comes with health care. This comes with retirement benefits. I challenge any recent bachelor's degree graduate to claim the same. So let's see, when you're a union tradeswoman, again, you earn that same dollar, the same money as the person working to your left and right. My favorite part about the building trades is that when you join the Columbus Building Trades, talk to some of these folks tonight, they'll tell you, you join a family, okay? It's a brotherhood, it's a sisterhood. The people who put on a hard hat every day, they take care of each other. They look out for each other, they lift each other up. And as a tradeswoman, you're gonna find yourself on a team of people who have each other's backs and who are ready to work hard together to see each other succeed. So don't be shy, don't believe stereotypes, don't sell yourself short. Ladies, I see you smiling. Don't settle for Target, don't settle for McDonald's, okay? Use all of your gifts. And thanks for being here. I hope that was exciting for you. Thank you. Okay, and I'm serious. I want to see some of you out there building our new stadium, okay? And you'll be there? Who said that? All right. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Leland Bass. He's from Impact Community Action, and he leads a really great program here in Columbus for pre-apprenticeship. And Leland's going to tell you all about building futures. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Leland Bass. I am the program manager at Impact Community Action for the program called Building Futures. And I have been tasked with the honor of talking about this program in 3 minutes, and that will be very difficult for me because I'm really proud of it, so I'll watch for the card to make sure that I get out of here on time. But Building Futures is a program that was designed and implemented with Impact Community Action, Franklin County Jobs and Family Services, and the Columbus and Central Ohio Building and Construction Trades. The reason why the program was created was to provide more opportunities for the underserved population in Columbus to be able to take advantage of the high-wage jobs that are available in the construction trades industry. We wanted to design a program that would legitimately provide a path to the middle class for those people that traditionally have been maybe looked over or haven't had this opportunity. So when we designed Building Futures, we designed it with that in mind. The program is a little less than 1 year old, and so far we've graduated 50 individuals. The average wage of our graduates is $17 an hour, and the highest wage is $28 an hour. Now, I always tell this story because I feel like this hits home. Some of the first people we had in the program, imagine this, were sitting at home on the couch, unemployed. And 12 weeks later, some of those people were making $60,000 in 12 weeks with no debt. Building Futures is a 12-week pre-apprenticeship program. It's the only program in America where if you complete the program, you get direct entry into one of the affiliated trade unions. Not only do we offer that direct entry path, we actually pay you to come to class. The program has a stipend of $250 a week just for you successfully attending it. We designed it so that you have case managers. We know that some people that are looking for work may still have some barriers that they need to take care of. You might need a driver's license. You might need to get your child care together. This program was designed to take care of all those things. We have partnerships with car dealerships that will literally finance our program participants before they're starting work. So to make sure that they have transportation, to make sure that they can get to these jobs and take advantage of these opportunities. We're currently recruiting for our next class, so we want to make sure that we are reaching out to everyone that's interested in the program, specifically women. Like I said, we have 50 people graduate, only 6 have been women. That's probably the one number that I'm not proud of. I'm proud of a lot of things, almost everything with Building Futures, but we definitely need more women to take advantage of it because the opportunities are limitless. I'm not going to give too much away because my building and construction trades people might kidnap me, but there's about $10 billion worth of construction work that's on the line to be bid on just in Columbus over the next several years. Think about that, $10 billion. And there's not enough people right now to work on those projects. So the opportunity for anyone that wants to get into this line of work, make a really great living, make over $100,000 within a couple of years, is right here in front of you. But we don't want you to think that because you're a woman or because you're a minority or because traditionally people that look like you weren't in these positions that you can't do it. The trades and all of our union friends and the city of Columbus and the county and everyone that's been involved in this outreach have made it a point. First Lady Ginther has made it a point to make sure that these opportunities are available for all of you. Please take advantage of it. Before you leave today, if you're interested in getting into this line of work, come see me at my table, get a card, visit all the tables and see what kind of programmings are available for you because the opportunity that's out there right now may never come again. I don't know when's the next time that Columbus will say there's $10 billion worth of work lined up and not enough people to do it. There's literally bidding wars going on for our graduates when they come out. And we want you to be the next part of that. So again, thank you to everyone that's here. Thank you to First Lady Ginther. Thank you to our building and construction trades partners, all the affiliated unions. Again, my name is Leland Bass, and come check out Building Futures.
Thank you very much, Leland. I just wanted to follow up a little bit. I wanted to call my tradeswomen up here, which I hope is actually the highlight of our evening here. You ladies will get to hear from actual apprentice and journey tradeswomen about their experience in the trade. So if you ladies could come up, that would be really great. Thank you. So one thing that I did want to reiterate is that jobs in the construction trades pay a family-sustaining wage. And whether you're a young person who's graduating from high school, trying to determine what your next steps will be, or someone who's actually been out in the workforce for a while and wants to maybe take a different path than you're currently on, we encourage you to talk to the people in this room. Again, these are wonderful family-sustaining wages, and these are not just merely jobs, they're careers, and they come with training. The trades unions support their own training programs, and they are affiliated with and matriculating with local colleges and universities, so not only are you earning a good wage on a job, but you're doing mandatory training, and you're earning college credit at no cost to you and with no student loan debt. So these are wonderful opportunities. We really hope you guys are and ladies are really thinking about the possibilities of this career. So ladies, with that said, can you please introduce yourselves and tell the folks here what trade you're affiliated with and what position you currently hold?
Christine Marcy, IBEW here in Columbus, Ohio. I work with the Superior Group.
I'm Mackenzie Quinn. I'm a second-year apprentice at the local 24 Sheet Metal Union, and right now I'm a TIG welder at MRS Industrial.
My name is Becca Rollins. I'm at 423. I'm an apprentice, my second year as well, and I'm currently working with EIGL.
My name is Sandra Davis. I am from the IBEW, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Right now I am currently managing projects here in Columbus.
Great, thank you. Ladies, can you tell us the story of how you got in the trades and let the folks know here, did somebody bring you in? How did you become aware of your job in the skilled trades? And maybe how you got into your apprenticeship program?
I was actually a Columbus State student looking at the facilities maintenance degree that they had just started up. And a representative from the IBEW came in and spoke to our class, and I took their test and did their interview and got accepted into their apprenticeship program in the middle of the recent depression back in 2008, 2009. My class was only 6 people, myself and 4 high school students that had just graduated and had been at the career school out in Newark, so they'd been doing it for 2 years already, and then one other young man who was 23. It was a 5-year program, and I ended up with 2 associate's degrees through Columbus State, as well as my journeyman card that is good all over the country.
All right, well, I started welding a little bit before high school, and I was interested in it, and I knew early on that college was not the right fit for me. I am much more enjoy being hands-on. I enjoy building things and not just sitting at a desk all day. So I was like, well, what is going to fit that? So I looked at career centers. I joined the metal fabrication program. I started a non-union welding job for a few years out of high school. When you go to a career center, there are certain programs you can be a part of, and one of them is Skills USA. I was an officer for Northeast Ohio, and through that I would come to Columbus for conventions, and I started to meet other people that were actually in the unions and a part of apprenticeship programs, and we started talking about wages and what I was making and what they were making, and I was like, wow, it's a really big difference. So I really considered it. I decided to make the move to Columbus and join the local 24 Sheet Metal Union. I would highly recommend it to everybody. And I just was fortunate to have the right people that encouraged me to do it.
I was working 2 jobs. I was working at UPS and bartending and working crazy hours. Half the time I couldn't change from UPS to get to my bartending job. And the lady came in, she had seen me a lot. She was an operator in the union, and she kept telling me, you're overworking yourself for the amount of money you're making. So I started looking into it more. She kept drilling me more about how I should give it a chance. So I caved. I went down to IGOL, which wasn't actually the union itself, it was a company. And they're the ones that actually hooked me up with the union and let me know about the apprenticeship program. It was a huge jump. I've never done anything like construction. I've never had any kind of extra training, desk jobs, filling out paperwork constantly. And as soon as I went into that company, they let me know all about what the apprenticeship program could do for me, what it could teach me, and the money was, I mean, you can't beat what I was jumping up to. Like you had mentioned, and within 4 years, I mean, you could get up to about $31 an hour, and I wasn't about to get that at UPS or at bartending, so.
I guess I'm the veteran up here. I actually started in 1986 in the IBEW. My husband actually, he started the program, the apprenticeship program, before I did. And he came home and he said, you know, I really think that you could do this, you know. And me being one of 6 daughters and knowing the, you know, a lot of people know what the divorce rate is. And I never wanted to be one of those women that had to stay or depend on, if, you know, I was unfortunate enough to be in that situation, have to depend on how I'm going to take care of my children. So I got into the apprenticeship program. It's 5 years. And, you know, here I am, 33 years later, still kicking. And I'm still married. So I didn't have to go through that, but it was just, you know, something that you take in consideration, you know. My dad has always instilled in all of us, you know, there was never per se a man job or a female job, you know. Us girls, we did everything, you know, so that's what.
Thank you. So you ladies have done a fabulous job of telling us why working in the trades has been a good choice for you and what some of the advantages of working in the skilled trades have been. So I'd like you to take just a second, though, to share with the folks what challenges have you faced in working in the skilled trades?
I think the only actual challenge was getting used to the work, because it's definitely what I do. I'm a laborer, so it's a physical job. I didn't know a lot with what I was doing, and I started off with a concrete crew. I was raking concrete, and it's hard work to start into. But the biggest concern I think I had was not knowing what to do. And with people trying to tell you, okay, you rake concrete, seems pretty simple, I'd go to do it, and someone might, oh, let me help you out, and they would take my tool from me and do it, and then I wouldn't get it back, and I'm standing there like, okay. So I think the biggest concern for me was just learning to really get in there and just try your hardest. I mean, it was hard, but I got stronger, and now I go in and I rake concrete, and I do it better than the guys. Yeah.
Kinsey?
All right. So I think that it is a physical job and that should be considered. It's nothing that is impossible. It's nothing that you can't accomplish. You are never going to be pushed to an extreme physical limits. We have machinery that's going to handle the weight. It's nothing that a woman can't do with the technology that we have. I think that some of the hardest parts can be the work environment. Some people still are a little more set back in their thinking, and they don't want to believe that women are capable of doing what they do. And I honestly think some people are intimidated by seeing a woman come in and do it better. That's kind of been one of the hardest parts of this job, is being able to handle that environment and keep that confidence in yourself and say, I can do this, I am capable, and I'm gonna nail it. I think the heat is a little bit hard. You're gonna have weather with these jobs. It's gonna be hot in the summer. It's gonna be a little bit cold in the winter. It's nothing that is impossible. Wear layers in the winter. It's really a job that women are not told from an early age that it's an option. It's more kind of put aside and you're going to go be a secretary or a nurse and those type of things. So it can be intimidating when you start to get into it, but once you find something that you may feel impassioned about and that you really love, and you fall in love with your work, and I think that that's extremely possible even with these jobs, and I would encourage any woman to just give it a chance, give it a try. You may really, really enjoy it.
One of the challenges, one of my biggest ones was getting used to having to use the porta pots. but you know, when I go and work in some of the factories, some of the ladies that work there would actually pull me aside and kind of show me where the bathroom was. I was, you know, and so you'd have to sneak so the guys wouldn't know that that's where you were going. One of the other challenges that I had, I am the only black female in my local 688, and I've been in this local for 33 years, and I'm still the only black female in this local. So, thank you. And being the only black female, one of the things that I had to kind of work with is a lot of the guys were not used to working with black females and black at the same time. So I had to, they had to get over the stereotypes that they had already formed in their minds. And so it wasn't really a challenge to me because of the fact that I am who I am. I try and be respectful to everyone, and once they got to know me, then they would have conversations with me and really get to know who I am, and they were honest enough to tell me. That's how I know that they had those issues, because they were honest enough to tell me that because they got to know who I am personally, the stereotype was not there anymore. So.
These guys have all been a lot nicer than I am. Basically, I've been told that women don't belong in the trade and we should go home and take care of our men.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want, I can't say the response because there's children in the room. Sandra's right, the Porta-Johns, not only are they Porta-Johns, but for some reason, these men feel they can be as nasty as they want to be. They plug up the urinals, they draw pictures that you do not ever want to see. I want to be frank with anyone here who is thinking about it, it's hard. I was working out this summer at the new jail that's being built over on Fisher Road. I was working in a ditch that was 10 feet deep, 61 feet wide, and it was probably 100 degrees. The metal that we were handling, we had a double glove because it was so hot. We were drinking 2 to 3 gallons of water a day. And then on the same spectrum, I was out there this winter when it was butt cold, and I looked like the kid from Christmas Story. I'm not even sure how I got a tool in my hand. And the guys are better, and especially here in Columbus, I've had pretty good experiences. I've only had a couple real winners tell me, you know, I can't do the job. In my trade and in Sandra's trade, there is a spot for everybody because electricians have so many different avenues to go through. We have spots for my friend Jill. She weighs 110 pounds and she's 5 foot tall, and I'm not. So whenever I need her, I stick her in a small little hole that I don't fit in. And when she needs something picked up that's 110 pounds, I throw her over my shoulder and we go get it. Just for practice. There's an avenue for everybody, but if you don't have a sense of humor and, excuse the expression, a set of balls that you can carry to work to prove that you have the attitude to carry those tools, you're not going to make it. you have to be able to tell someone to kiss your butt in a not nice way and walk away from them when they tell you you can't do your job.
Thank you, guys. All right, ladies, so construction work is seasonal. And how do you handle the seasonal aspect of working in the trades? How do you handle unemployment? And how do you make that seasonal work for you?
Electricians' work isn't really seasonal. Building, comes and goes, but as electricians, we work inside hospitals and schools year-round. One of the things we do, we had a significant slump, and the local here has 1,500 men in it, and only 700 of them were employed here in Columbus when I started working. The IBEW is the international brotherhood, so my card is good in whatever 50 state and Mexico and Canada and a couple other places. I finished my apprenticeship, which is called topping out, in 2014, and 2 weeks after I topped out, I got laid off. And I am the sole breadwinner in my family. My husband very graciously stays home and raises our son, and does a pretty good job of it. And I go to work. I traveled for about a year. I was in Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia, and the southern part of Ohio, and I was away from my 3-year-old. It was rough, but one of the things that they told me was, and I didn't listen, which is why I had to travel so soon, you're supposed to live on 65% of your wage because we make a decent wage. You save the rest and you bank it so that when you do get unemployed, not only do you get unemployment, but you have your reserves to take care of. The IBEW has short-term disability, so when I had my son, I was very fortunate to be able to take almost 4 months off and stay home with him on a reduced scale, but I was still able to bring home the paycheck to take care of it. Our health insurance helps out a lot. And when I get old, I have youngsters to pay my pension. It's the biggest pyramid scheme that's legal, as far as I've seen. But as long as you don't go crazy, one of the things I tell my apprentices the first time is don't go buy a new car. You don't know when this work's gonna end. Make sure you have a reliable vehicle, but don't go out and buy that $55,000 extended cab Hemi something or other truck that you don't really need and that's going to break you when you're driving, an hour each way to your job. So you have to save. I learned the lesson the hard way, and I'm still trying to get back on my feet from it 5 years later.
Okay, so in the sheet metal union, the work is not so, we work in a lot of buildings. Myself personally, I work in a shop all year, so the weather is never really an issue for me, but a lot of people in our trade do work out in the field. But again, they're in buildings that are under construction or already constructed, so most of the time you're going to get to be inside. There may be a day here or there where you have to work outside. As long as you are prepared for the day, you'll be okay.
See, it was different for me. My first year of being an apprentice, I got laid off for 5 months. And it was during the winter, but I did get to complete all my classes for the apprenticeship program. But it was the first month, trying to set up unemployment and everything was kind of rough. But once you got into it, it came and I just took it easy. I got to spend a little extra time with my son. I got to take him to school, so I took advantage of that winter, being able to hit up all the field trips with him. But then my next year, what I'm going through right now, I only got laid off for the time that I took class. So I've been working through the bitter cold. I've been layering it up, like you said. So I have been fortunate enough not to be laid off this year, but that training that you take in that apprenticeship program sets you so much further. Like that first year that I was in, I knew nothing. Nothing at all. So I get why they laid me off. But I took those classes, I came back, I'm a strong person now, and I'm getting called onto different crews. And we do work outside as laborers. I'm on the dirt side, so I'm there before the building's even built. So yeah, we definitely see a lot of both the heat with no shade and the wind with no blockage.
Well, like my union sister down there said, we are international. So, you know, our ticket is good where there's an IBEW and they have work. One of the things that one of the old timers said to me when I first got in is that you take 10% of each paycheck and you put that aside. And so you will have that when work gets slow. And unfortunately, you know, with the past recession, things are getting better. We didn't have a whole lot of work. And so I was laid off. But the one good thing about that I found working in this trade is that I work as an electrician, but I also pick up a lot of the other trade skills by watching, observing, and we do talk to one another. And one of the things that I was able to do was because of, you know, what I did for a living. When work got slow, I was able to go into another field. I worked for Community Action of Erie, Huron, and Richland counties. And because of my background, I was able to be project manager over all of the home repairs in those three counties. So that kind of sustained my household. And then also, by my husband being an electrician also, we were able to travel together because doggone it, he wasn't gonna let me go by myself. But we were able to travel together, so that helped out a lot. But me being able to use the skills that I gained from being a union sister also opens the door not only for construction, but also in other avenues too, if you have to. So.
Well, that's one thing as well with like unemployment. If you do get laid off from a company that maybe doesn't have a bunch of work, you can go to your union hall. And I didn't do that my first year because I didn't know anything. I wanted to stick with my company. I felt safe with them. But you can go to your union hall and let them know, hey, I got laid off. I need a job. And they will put you into another job. So it's not like sometimes you don't always have to wait that time until that company hires you back. You can go through your hall. That's what we're here for. It's why they cut out all that work where you don't have to go to a company and fill out an application and take the interview. You go to your hall, they set you up, and then you're able to get set up with another job. So they kind of take out that little stress work as well.
The year of 2015, I worked for 17 contractors. I traveled a lot. Through the IBEW, that's how you're required to get a job. There are other unions that have different methods, but when I get laid off, I get a slip, I go down to my hall, I sign the book, and then they tell me what jobs are available and we bid on them. I don't, I can say yes or no to whatever job that I want to do. So, or IBEW does.
I hate to interrupt. This is wonderful conversation. One last quick question, really fast. What can you say that might encourage these ladies to take a chance and encourage them to give a career in the construction trade some very serious thought?
$56 an hour. Healthcare you don't have to pay for, or that is paid for you, and retirement. A pension that is guaranteed money when you get old and decrepit.
Oh, go ahead.
There you go. Oh, sorry. So I would highly encourage, if you want to go the trade routes, to go the union route. It has been my experience that the pay is much better, the benefits are much better, and you get to earn as you learn. So you get to go to work every day, and then you go take your classes, and they're college classes. You're receiving college credits for these classes. So you're not gonna spend 4 years of your life at a college hoping that it all works out, but you will get to make money while you learn your trade. You'll always be working with a journey person throughout your apprenticeship, so you're never just gonna be alone and not knowing what to do. And you will always have other people you work with to turn to for help. So I would say do not be afraid of it. It's nothing that, we all have your back. Just don't hold back, because I feel like a lot of people are afraid to just go for it and see how these trades are because they seem so intimidating. But it's anything that a woman can do, so don't be afraid, don't hold yourself back, and don't settle for less.
Well, I would encourage anyone that is thinking about getting in a trade to do so for economical reasons, but also the respect of yourself, knowing that you can accomplish and do the job. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Just be who you are, work hard, because the rewards are big. You can take care of yourself. Set a good example for the people that are in your inner circle, your children, your sisters, your nieces, nephews, family, friends. You earn that respect, and not only that, like I said before, you have a well-rounded knowledge of being able to take care of yourself and do the things that you need to take care of at home. I have my own tools. I know how to use them. Unfortunately, my husband knows I know how to use them, so he's put his down. But just know that you could do it and you'll be able to take care of yourself. But don't be afraid to say, I don't know. Ask. I was always one of the first ones to grab that shovel as an apprentice. You're going to have to work harder. Bottom line, you have to prove that you can do it, but don't be afraid to ask if you don't know.
Yeah, I would say with me, it's always been exciting to let people know that I'm a construction worker because they don't expect it when they see me out in my heels and my lipstick on, and then they ask you what you do, and you surprise them with that. With being a laborer too, it's not just going out and being physical. We have laborers that carry their card that are in the safety side of it. We've got people that are working at our training center that cook, and they carry the laborer's card. So there's definitely like a lot of different things that you could do with it. And as you said, I mean, it's all about proving yourself and being strong. I took the more physical side of it because that's what I like doing. And it was a big change, and it was scary, but I did it, and it's the best decision I actually made. It's definitely a career choice, and it's gonna take me places. It's gonna take us all places. So.
And one other thing, I'm studying now to get my contractor's license. So that is the next step. I mean, there is no boundaries, only the ones that you put on yourself.
Ladies, I need you to stay up here for just a little while longer, and we're going to turn it out to you folks. There are microphones around the room, and we're going to spend the next maybe 7 to 10 minutes letting you ask these ladies questions that you may have. So don't be shy. Or if you just want to stand up where you're at, do that. That's great too. Okay, go ahead.
I think Leland probably has the best answer for that. The program they have, Building Futures, is a pre-apprenticeship that teaches you what you need to know as far as learning math and the soft skills. And then they also take the time to show you the different trades. You get educated by someone in that trade about that, and then you're allowed to choose a trade to try out. I think the Building Futures is a great program that our city's lucky to have. And I think that's the best way to get into an apprenticeship.
And one of the things that I did when I was thinking about getting to the apprenticeship program, and after I started, because I knew that I would have to hold my own and carry my own pipe, I actually started working out. I lift weights. Yeah, just getting yourself physically ready to take on that challenge. Because I knew that if I'm helping carrying a piece of pipe with the journeyman and I drop my end, I not only hurt myself, but I hurt my partner too. So just getting physically ready.
Is there any other questions? And I will ask you at this time if you can go to a mic, because we are taping this session and we need to be able to hear the questions really well. So anybody else have questions? Please.
I just want to make a quick comment. I'm retired laborer from Local 423. I currently do construction safety work for the past 13 years. You look kind of familiar at the end there, but I really appreciate especially everybody's openness about what it's like out there. I currently work at the Mount Carmel Grove City Hospital. We've had up to 6 women working on that site from Superior Group. You probably know Brenda.
Yes, I do.
Brenda, and you know, the way you have to put your foot down just like she does. And I think for you young people, you have to understand that, you know, even though you, as a woman, nobody's going to mess with Brenda on the job site. She takes care of business up there, and everybody knows she's in charge. And that's the way it should be. And again, I just want to appreciate your openness about the way it is out there, because it is tough. And you have to work hard and prove yourselves just like anybody. So thanks.
Great, thank you. If you guys can stay. Oh, there's one more question. It's a quickie. Go ahead.
When it comes to health insurance, is that through the union itself, or is that through your company? And you mentioned short-term disability when you had your son. How does that work as an apprentice if family happens?
So through the IBEW, they have their own insurance, not through the companies. How it works is we have an hourly wage, we have an insurance wage, and we have retirement wage in general. And the retirement wage and the health insurance is paid by the company to the union. Our short-term disability is their cheater way of having maternity leave, but they also use it for when you have surgery on your knees or your elbows or whatever. As far as like sick leave, like you get flu, you out of work and you ain't getting paid. We don't get paid sick days. We don't get paid holidays. We don't get anything. We don't get paid vacation. We make good money to save it so when you want to do that. The construction term is you work what you can afford, is what they tell you. What I'm battling these days is kids who stay at home and live with their parents who think, oh, I only have to work 24 hours a week. No, you still need to come to work 40 hours a week at least. I had to have my doctor sign my paperwork saying that I couldn't do my job. And we processed paperwork through my union hall, and they paid me a percentage of my thing. As an apprentice, it's less, but obviously because you're making less. But you still maintain your health insurance, and you need to pay your union dues, and that maintains all your stuff.
Thank you. These ladies will be available to answer any questions that you have, but in respect for your time, we're going to go to our closing remarks, and I would like to respectfully introduce you to Elder Larry Price.
I want the panelists, I want you to stay for, if you will. I want to make a point here since I got the mic. Good evening. First, I want to thank the panelists for being part of this. I think it's important, and for keeping it real. You know, in our meetings, we talked about them keeping it real. What is it like to be on the site? We know there's some challenges, i.e. the potty and other things. So we thank you for keeping it real. And I want to, give me a moment. You four ladies, come here for a minute. You four on the front row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come here. I got the mic, and I'm gonna move us to 7. But this the reason why I want them to come forth again. I'm Elder Larry Price. I want each one of you to go stand behind one of them. And I was trying to figure out how I could make this real, and why we do what we do, and why Mayor Ginther put together the committee, this agreement. Why did we go through all the troubles of having the community meetings across this city? both for minorities and women and others who we feel are disadvantaged. On the front row, Sandra, we see our present, right? But on the back row, what do we see? Our future. And that's why we're having the meeting tonight. So Sandra and others, you know, while women are limited, and she talked about being the only one for 33 years, that ought to sit in on us for a moment. So that's why we want to make sure that we open up the door and to the First Lady and to the Mayor for doing this. Now, let me get through. I just want, that came to me. Again, I'm Elder Larry Price. Thank you to the committee for putting this together, to the Columbus Women's Commission, First Lady Ginther, and all our partners. Let me read quickly the partners, because when we meet, the mayor has brought together a variety of folk. I represent the NAACP and also the faith-based community, the Baptist Ministry Alliance, but we also had the City of Columbus, the Columbus Women's Commission, ACT Ohio, the Affiliated Construction Trades, the City of Columbus Parks and Recs, the Columbus Building Trades Council, and the Chicago Women's in Trades, the NAACP, the Electrical Trade Center, Baptist Ministry Alliance of Columbus, Columbus City Schools, and SMART, the Sheet Metal, Air, Rail, and Transportation. Give them a hand, amen, for being a part of it. The next 30 minutes, you will be given an opportunity to visit with various skilled trades and learn more about specific apprenticeship programs, as well as resources available in the community from child care and transportation partners. The names of the exhibits and the tables are listed in your program. And our panelists will be here to answer any more questions that you may have. And then I want to share our upcoming. Our next one will be at Fort Hays, and it's for the young folk. It's open to high school students and young adults interested in construction careers. It's April 4th, and we will be giving that information out to you as you leave. And then finally, on behalf of Mayor Ginther, Columbus Women's Commission, and the Community Benefits Agreement Committee, we want to say thank you for coming out. Now, I'm going to step aside and allow our own First Lady, give her another round of hands, to have the final words on behalf of the Mayor of the great city of Columbus, Ohio.
So I'm humbled by the number of people in this room who want to be for something bigger for women and minorities in our community. So I thank you for all being a part of that. I thank you all for being an inspiration to our next generations that are coming behind us, for enduring the struggles that you have and will continue to have. It's powerful to come out and share that, but keep going anyway. So thank you. Thanks for being here tonight, and feel free to peruse the tables. Thanks to all of our partners, and we will see you again on April 4th.